There is a corner of the world where nature holds its breath. Here mountains rise like ancient sentinels, their peaks draped in mist. Their slopes are covered in thick green forests, untouched by the hand of industry. Rivers carve their way through these quiet valleys, their waters clear and cold. They flow with a purpose older than any nation or border. This is the landscape of North Korea. It is a place of profound and silent beauty. It exists in a world away from the cities and the strict control of human life. Here, nature simply is. It follows its own timeless rhythms, unaware of the dramas unfolding below. In these remote lands, wildlife thrives in the absence of people. The great Amur tiger, a creature of myth and power, still pads softly through the undergrowth. Its presence is a secret kept by the forest itself. Rare birds fill the air with their songs, their calls echoing through the empty valleys. It is a sound of pure freedom. We can see red-crowned cranes, symbols of longevity and peace, wading gracefully in the wetlands. They find sanctuary in a land that offers little to its human inhabitants. This is a place where the wild heart of the Korean peninsula continues to beat strong and steady. The seasons here are dramatic and distinct. Spring arrives with a burst of cherry blossoms, painting the hillsides in delicate shades of pink and white. It is a fleeting moment of softness in a harsh land. Summer brings a deep, lush green, a time of growth and abundance for the creatures that live here. The air is thick with the hum of insects and the scent of damp earth. Autumn sets the forests ablaze with color, a fiery spectacle of red, orange and gold. And winter blankets the world in a pristine layer of white snow. It is a time of quiet and stillness, when nature seems to pause and reflect. This is the North Korea that few ever see. It is a world far removed from the grand military parades and the stark, concrete cities. It is a land of raw, untamed beauty. A place where the earth itself seems to tell a different story. It is a story not of division and control, but of endurance and the quiet power of the natural world. It reminds us that even in the most controlled places on Earth, there are spaces where life finds a way to be free. This land is a silent witness to the human story, a backdrop of serene beauty against a reality of stark control. This land of quiet beauty was not always so divided. Before the middle of the 20th century, Korea was one, a single peninsula with a shared history stretching back thousands of years. But the currents of global politics swept over this ancient land. After the Second World War, the peninsula was split, divided at an arbitrary line known as the 38th parallel. Two states emerged, backed by rival superpowers. The North, supported by the Soviet Union, and the South by the United States. This division planted the seeds of a terrible conflict that would soon tear the nation apart. In 1950, that conflict erupted into the Korean War. It was a brutal and devastating struggle. Brother fought against brother. Families were torn apart, many forever. Cities were turned to rubble, and the countryside was scarred by battle. The war raged for 3 long years, costing millions of lives and leaving a legacy of pain and loss that endures to this day. The fighting stopped not with a peace treaty, but with an armistice, a ceasefire. This meant that technically, the two Koreas have remained at war for more than 70 years. A frozen conflict, a wound that has never fully healed. The armistice created a new line on the map, the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ. This strip of land, 4 kilometers wide and 250 kilometers long, cuts across the entire peninsula. It is a place of fences, landmines, and guard posts, a buffer zone designed to keep two powerful armies apart. It is perhaps the most heavily fortified border on the planet, a stark physical symbol of the division that has defined the Korean peninsula for generations. It is a scar etched upon the face of the earth, a constant reminder of the human cost of conflict and ideological divides. For the people of Korea, this scar runs deeper than the land. It runs through their hearts and their families. Millions were separated by the war and the creation of the DMZ. Mothers from sons, husbands from wives. For decades they have lived on opposite sides of a line they cannot cross, unable to see or speak to the ones they love. The division of the country is not just a political fact. It is a profound human tragedy. It is a story of separation and longing, of a people who share a language and a culture but are forbidden from sharing their lives. Life on the northern side of the DMZ is lived under a constant watchful eye. The state is everything. It dictates where you live, what you do for work, and even what you are allowed to think. This control is absolute and all-encompassing. The society is structured around a rigid ideology, and any deviation from it is met with severe consequences. Fear is a constant companion, a silent presence in every home and every conversation. People learn from a young age to guard their words, to hide their true feelings behind a mask of conformity. The weight of this silence is immense. One of the most strictly controlled aspects of life is access to information. The outside world is portrayed as a corrupt and hostile place. Foreign media, especially from the prosperous and democratic South, is seen as a dangerous poison. A law, the Anti-Reactionary Thought and Culture Act, makes it a serious crime to watch, listen to, or share these materials. The state considers a simple South Korean drama or a pop song to be rotten ideology. The goal is to create a perfect seal, to prevent any light from the outside world from piercing the darkness of isolation. The punishments for breaking these rules are designed to inspire terror. They are not meant to be simply corrective. They are a form of ideological warfare. Watching a foreign film can lead to years of hard labor in a brutal prison camp. Distributing it can be a death sentence. Public executions are still used as a tool of state control. Citizens, including children, are sometimes forced to watch as a person is put to death by firing squad. The message is clear and unambiguous. This is the price of disobedience. The state uses fear to maintain its grip on power, making examples of those who dare to step out of line. This system of repression creates a society of whispers and suspicion. A specialized police unit, known as Group 109, conducts raids without warning, searching for hidden USB drives and media players. Neighbors are encouraged to inform on one another. Children are taught to report on their own parents. It is a system that turns every citizen into a potential spy and every home into a potential crime scene. The trust between people is eroded, replaced by a deep-seated paranoia. In this atmosphere of constant surveillance, a moment of unguarded honesty can have devastating consequences for an entire family. Yet, despite the overwhelming risks, the human spirit is not so easily extinguished. The desire for connection, for a glimpse of a different world, is a powerful force. And so, under the cover of darkness, an invisible network of defiance exists. The very media that the state tries so desperately to keep out finds its way in. It is smuggled across the border from China, hidden on tiny USB drives and micro SD cards. These small pieces of plastic hold entire worlds within them, Movies, television shows, music and news from a life they are told does not exist. The smuggled content spreads through the country like a secret current flowing beneath the surface of official life. It is passed from hand to hand, a currency of trust and shared risk. The devices used to watch this forbidden fruit are clever and discreet. Many use portable media players called notitels, which have multiple USB ports and can be easily hidden. They look like an innocent piece of technology, but they are windows to another reality. In the privacy of their homes, with the curtains drawn and the volume turned low, people gather to watch. It is an act of quiet rebellion. For the young people of North Korea, these smuggled dramas and pop songs are more than just entertainment. They are a cultural education. They see people in South Korea wearing different clothes, speaking with different accents, and expressing themselves freely. They see a world of choice and opportunity, a stark contrast to their own tightly controlled lives. The state tells them that the South is a destitute American colony, but the screen shows them a vibrant, wealthy, and modern society. This creates a deep cognitive dissonance, a crack in the foundation of the state's propaganda. These secret viewings are moments of shared humanity and quiet joy. For a few hours, a family can forget the hardships of their daily lives. They can laugh at the same jokes, cry at the same tragedies, and feel a connection to a wider world. It is a small act, but it is profoundly significant. It is a way of reclaiming a small piece of their own minds, of choosing for themselves what to see and what to believe. In a country where every thought is meant to be controlled, this simple act of watching a movie becomes a powerful statement of individual freedom and inner resistance. There is, a profound irony at the heart of the Korean Peninsula. The demilitarized zone, or the DMZ, was created as a symbol of human conflict. It's a place bristling with weapons and filled with tension. It represents the failure of politics and, honestly, the enduring legacy of war. It's a no-man's land, a place where humans are forbidden to go, and yet in this very absence of human activity, something remarkable has happened. Nature has reclaimed this territory. The scar of war has, paradoxically, become a sanctuary for life. For over 70 years, this strip of land has been left almost entirely undisturbed. The fields that were once battlegrounds are now, overgrown with lush grasses and wild flowers. The forests have grown thick and dense, providing cover for a remarkable array of animals. In this accidental nature preserve, wildlife has truly flourished. The DMZ has become one of the most important havens for biodiversity in all of Asia. It is a living testament to the resilience of the natural world. When humans step back, life just rushes in to fill the void. Scientists who have been granted rare access to the zone have documented an incredible ecosystem. They've found species that are endangered or have disappeared from other parts of the peninsula. The rare red-crowned crane, a majestic bird and a symbol of peace, spends its winters here. The Asiatic black bear roams the forests and wild boars forage in the undergrowth. There are even, believe it or not, unconfirmed sightings of the elusive Amur leopard and the great Siberian tiger. Ghosts of the wilderness returning to a land they once ruled. The DMZ has become a time capsule, preserving a glimpse of what Korea looked like before it was developed. This paradox presents a powerful image. The most dangerous border on Earth is also one of its most pristine natural habitats. It is a place where the sounds of birdsong mix with the distant hum of surveillance equipment, where delicate flowers grow in the shadow of barbed wire fences. This juxtaposition is, honestly, a stark reminder of our own duality. Our capacity for destruction and division is matched only by nature's incredible capacity for healing and renewal. The DMZ is both a wound and a cradle, a symbol of our failures, and a beacon of nature's enduring hope. Living with secrets in North Korea is a high-stakes game. The rewards are emotional and intellectual, a connection to the outside world, a moment of escape. But the risks are terrifyingly real. Discovery means facing the full, unforgiving force of the state. Imagine for a moment the heart-pounding fear of a late-night knock on the door. It's the 109 group, the special police tasked with hunting down ideological impurities. They need no warrant. They can tear a home apart, searching for the telltale signs of a hidden media player or a forbidden USB drive. If something is found, the consequences are swift and severe. The system is not designed for justice, it is designed for terror. A person caught watching a South Korean drama might be paraded before their neighbors in a public criticism session, a ritual of humiliation designed to break the spirit. They may be sentenced to years in a forced labor camp, where starvation, disease, and brutal work are a daily reality. For those caught distributing the media, the outcome is often death. The state makes these punishments public, ensuring that the message of fear is broadcast as widely as possible. The burden of this fear falls not just on the individual, but on their entire family. North Korea practices a system of collective punishment based on a concept called songbun, which is a social classification system. The crimes of one person can taint their relatives for generations. If a father is sent to a prison camp, his children may be denied access to education or good jobs. They become outcasts, marked by the state as politically unreliable. This system creates an almost unbearable pressure to conform. It makes the decision to watch a foreign film an act that puts one's entire family at risk. And so, life becomes a constant performance. People must show absolute loyalty to the regime in public, even if their private thoughts are filled with doubt. They must participate in endless political rallies and study sessions, chanting slogans and praising the leaders. They must hide their secrets behind a carefully constructed facade. The strain of living this double life is immense. It is a heavy psychological burden, a constant dance between outward obedience and inner defiance. The price of a secret is not just the risk of punishment, but the daily cost of living in fear. Even the most monolithic systems of control have their weaknesses. The North Korean state presents an image of absolute power and ideological purity, but beneath the surface, human nature introduces cracks. The very officials tasked with enforcing the draconian laws are themselves susceptible to the same desires and temptations as the people they police. Reports from those who have escaped the country speak of a deep and pervasive corruption that undermines the state's authority at every level. Money, it seems, can often speak louder than ideology. For those with wealth or connections, the system is negotiable. A bribe can make a problem disappear. If a member of the elite is caught with a stash of South Korean movies, a significant payment can ensure the incident is forgotten. Amnesty International's 2026 report, based on recent escapee testimony, suggests sums of $5,000 to $10,000 can be enough to buy a person's freedom. This creates a deeply unequal system of justice. The poor and unconnected face the full, brutal force of the law, while the rich can often purchase their own impunity. The law becomes a tool to control the masses, not a principle that applies to all. It is an open secret that many of the security agents and officials who conduct the raids are themselves consumers of the very media they are supposed to confiscate. They watch the same movies and listen to the same music. This creates a strange and cynical dynamic. An agent might confiscate a USB drive from a family during a raid, only to take it home to watch it with his own family later that night. This hypocrisy reveals the hollowness at the core of the state's ideology. The system is not driven by true belief, but by power, fear, and increasingly by greed. These cracks in the system offer a small, precarious space for survival. They allow for the flow of goods, information, and money that keeps many people alive. The bribes that allow the wealthy to escape punishment are part of the same informal economy that allows traders to smuggle in food and medicine. It is a system born of desperation and necessity. While it highlights the deep injustice of the society, it also shows the ways in which people have learned to navigate and manipulate the rules in order to endure. The state may be powerful, but it is not all powerful. It is a machine made of human parts, and those parts are often flawed and corruptible. In the midst of this oppressive system, small acts of humanity and hope persist. They are glimmers of light in a dark place. The act of sharing a forbidden movie is more than just entertainment. It is an act of trust. It's a statement that says, I see you, and I believe we can share this secret. In a society designed to atomize individuals and break the bonds of community, these small connections are a form of resistance. They rebuild the trust that the state has tried so hard to destroy. Each shared secret is a small victory against the regime of fear. Hope can also be found in the marketplaces, or young madang, that have sprung up across the country. These markets began as a response to the state's failure to provide for its people during the Great Famine of the 1990s. Today, they are a vital part of the economy and a hub of social life. Here, people trade goods, share news, and exchange information away from the most direct gaze of the state. These markets are a testament to the people's ingenuity and their will to survive. They represent a spontaneous, bottom-up order that stands in defiance of the top-down control of the state. The stories of those who manage to escape are also a powerful source of hope. The journey is perilous, often involving a dangerous crossing of the Tumen River into China, followed by a long and uncertain trek through Southeast Asia. The number of escapees has dropped significantly in recent years due to tighter border controls, but each person who makes it to freedom carries with them the stories of those left behind. They speak out, telling the world what is happening inside their homeland. Their courage provides a voice for the voiceless and keeps a flicker of hope alive for a future, different career. This resilience is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet and persistent. It is the mother who bribes an official to save her son. It is the friends who gather in a dark room to share a laugh over a South Korean comedy. It is the trader who risks her life to bring in food and information. These are not grand gestures of revolution, but they are acts of profound significance. They are the ways in which people hold on to their humanity in the face of a system that seeks to crush it. They are the small, steady flames of defiance that refuse to be extinguished. As we look at the Korean peninsula, we see a story of profound contrast. We see a human world defined by rigid lines, by control and fear, a world where a simple song can be a crime and a movie can lead to a death sentence. It is a reality shaped by a war that never officially ended, leaving a legacy of division and pain. The concrete cities and the disciplined marches project an image of unbreakable order. But this is only one part of the story. It is the story that humanity has written upon the land, a story of conflict and control. But there is another older story. It is the story told by the land itself. It is whispered by the wind in the pines of the untouched mountains. It is seen in the graceful flight of the red-crowned crane over the wetlands of the DMZ. In this forbidden zone, this scar of conflict, nature has shown its incredible power to heal. The absence of humanity has allowed life to flourish in all its wild and beautiful diversity. This accidental paradise stands as a silent rebuke to our own divisions, a reminder that life is persistent and will always seek the light. The same unbroken spirit that we see in the wildness of the DMZ can also be seen in the people of North Korea. Despite decades of isolation and repression, their humanity endures. It endures in the secret laughter shared over a forbidden film. It endures in the courage of those who risk everything for a taste of freedom. It endures in the quiet acts of bribery and barter that help families survive. Like the green shoots that push their way through cracks in the concrete, the human spirit finds ways to grow, even in the most hostile environments. And so, we are left with a feeling not of despair, but of a deep and resilient hope. Hope is found in the enduring beauty of the landscape, a promise of what the peninsula once was and could be again. And hope is found in the quiet defiance of its people, their refusal to have their inner worlds completely conquered. The story of North Korea is not yet over. The tension between the rigid control of man and the persistent freedom of nature continues. One day perhaps the fences will come down, and the spirit of both the land and its people will finally be allowed to heal and to be whole once more.